Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, it's inside the choice-driven game that we've made the past couple tutorials, but it can also be taken as a separate tutorial. So what we're going to do has to do with our text box. If we are to click play, you can see that in our main body, the text just appears immediately. And this could be better. Now, a better way that this could be done is for the text to kind of scroll in one character at a time so that it looks more fluent. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Let's get right into it. First thing we're going to do is open up our display manager, and this is the line we are going to be editing. Statement.text equals our statement. And what we're going to do is take this line and just comment it out. And now to the actual code. So we're going to have to create a brand new function. So we're going to have to go to the bottom of display next statement and create something new. We're going to put public I enumerator, and we'll call this scrolling text. And we'll give this one parameter, which is just our statement. Brackets. Now, you might be wondering what this is, and you can see that instead of void, if we put I enumerator, we can do something very special. But before we can do that, we are going to first put a for loop. We'll just say for int x equals 0. Make sure the spacing's right. If x is less than the length of the statement, we are going to add x. Inside of this, we're going to put statement text.text, which is what we use up here, is going to be equal to the statement string up here, dot a substring of it, and the two parameters for a substring is the starting position, which is going to be x, and the length, which is just going to be 1. And then this line that we're about to add right now is going to be why we have to use I enumerator. We are going to put in yield return new wait for seconds. And we are going to put in a float that will be our seconds. I'm just using 0.7 because in testing, that was a pretty good time for me. What this is going to do is it's going to take this function, the for loop, and it's going to freeze it for a set amount of seconds. And you can make this whatever you want. And then what this line is going to do is it's going to take our statement text and it's going to take one character from it, starting at x and going one farther. So what we need to do is instead of statement.text equals statement substring, we are going to do plus equals. And if we do plus equals, you always have to remember to empty out the string beforehand. So right up here, we'll just put statement text.text is equal to an empty string, just to make sure that the last statement doesn't interfere with this. And then finally, all we're going to do is where we commented this line, we can just go right under it. And the way we call an I enumerator is we go start coroutine scroll, and then we put our name, which is scrolling text, and our one parameter, which is going to be this right here, current statement dot statement. And let's go back to Unity. Now that we're here, we can hit play, and you should see very slowly this text will scroll in. Now, if you're like me, you may be saying, that was pretty slow for text to be scrolling in. And instead of having to go into the code every single time to change this value, we can make a value for it. So we're just going to come up here to our values, come down here, and we'll put public float called text delay. And we'll come down here, and instead of this, we will put text delay. And now if we go back to Unity, you should see, if we click on our display manager, that text delay is right here. And we can make this, let's see, 0.1. And that looks a whole lot better. As you can see, happens for everything. And this value, I can just go, make it small, and I can make this value really small, and it should instantly update. There is one more thing we are going to do in this episode. And that is, if we're right here, we have our conversation, do you like bread? If we click yes, we have our single choice. And if you noticed, the single choice doesn't look too good. It's off to the side and it looks kind of weird. What we kind of want is to be able to center that button if it's the only one. So we're going to do that. The way we'll move a button is with its rec transform. And regular game objects have a regular transform, but since this is a UI element, it has its own special one. So we do have to do it a slightly different way. So again, we're just going to go back to Visual Studios, and we can get right to work. Here, the thing we're trying to edit is with our buttons. Now, since we want to check if how many buttons we have afterwards, we are going to put our new lines of code after this for loop. And we're going to say something very simple. We'll just say if the amount of choice buttons we have, which is what we use up here, is equal to 1, which means we only have one button active, what do we want to do? We want to move the button over to the middle of the screen. Now, if we go back to Unity, we can see that the button isn't at that nice of a position. 154. So I'm going to make this 150. And I'll make this positive 150. Now this may be different for yours because like I said, over between episodes I did change the UI elements. Now, if you can see here, the position for me is at 150. If we were to change this to 0, it goes right in the middle. So 150, so negative 150 is normal, 0 is in the middle. So you have to keep that in mind. This may be different for you. If it is, just remember your X values right here. Now, if choice buttons is equal to 1, we want to take that choice button, which would be choice button 0. We want to get its rec transform. And we want to get something called its local position. And we want to set this local position equal to a vector 3, which is just 3 values together. And that vector 3 is going to be 0 for the x. That vector 3 is going to be 0 for the x. My y value is negative 245. So I'm just going to keep it as negative 245. And 0 for the z value. And then what we want to do is just say else So if there's more than one button, we just want to take that choice button, get component, rect transform, take its local position, and set it equal to where it was originally, which was negative 150, negative 45, negative 245. Can't type. 0. Let's save this and go back. Now we have it down here. You can see the scrolling text working. And what we're going to do, if we click yes, there we go. Alright, so we say if choicebuttons.length is equal to 1, but that'll always be equal to 4. What we actually wanted was this right here. Current choice.choices.length. So if we put this in, because this is the number of choices, choice buttons is the number of buttons. That was a slip up on my part. So now if we run it and click yes, you can see that the leave button is now centered in the middle of the screen. That's going to be all for this tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. If you found this helpful in any way, please like and subscribe, and